Hey kids, Mr. Murray here, and this is Mr. Murray's Mathland channel. So today we're taking a look at a classic Algebra 1 question. Write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form if the line passes through two given points. Specifically here, the points -15, -2, and -3, 6. So keep in mind, if you're trying to write in slope-intercept form, there are a bunch of different forms. But at this point, we've just been dealing with slope-intercept. That's y equals mx plus b. You know, it might be obvious, it might not be, but the two things you need to find are the slope, m, and the y-intercept. That's why it's called slope-intercept. You need two things, slope and intercept. And so I like to sort of keep it off to the side that, hey, if I know the slope and I know the intercept, I'm 10 seconds away from being done. I can just, substitute those in and into that equation and I'll be done. So they have given you 2 points. They haven't given you the slope or the y-intercept, so you've got to find both of them. But if you have 2 points, the first thing you should be able to find is the slope. That's something we've done a lot with here. And as a refresher here, our slope formula, m equals change in y over change in x, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And just keep in mind, of course, that, if this is your first point, you might want to label this if you're a little rusty. This first point would be x1, y1, and my second point would be x2, y2. So this slope could be found by doing y2 minus y1, 6 minus -2, watch those double negatives, over, got to go in that same consistent order, -3 minus -15. Again, there's a double negative. We're going to deal with that. So 6 minus -2 minus a negative is the same thing as plus. So 6 plus 2 is 8 over -3 minus -15, again, that's the same as plus. -3 plus 15, that is 12. And so our fraction here reduces to 2/3. Always nice to reduce your fractions as much as possible, and they must be simplified to get full credit. So slope is 2/3. So hey, I just found one of the two things I need. And now the last thing I've got to find is the b, the y-intercept. So I like to just think of it as, look, the equation is going to be y equals mx plus b. We know that. It's going to look like that. And now I know one piece of it. I just figured out that the slope is 2/3. So now I know my equation is going to look like this. Y equals 2/3 x plus b. You've just got to figure out what that b is. And to do that, we're going to substitute in one of the points. It doesn't matter which one because they're both on this line. So for example, I'll just grab the second one. I don't know, the numbers seem smaller, maybe it's easier to work with, but it does not matter which point you take when you do this step. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that point and I'm going to substitute it into this equation. Because remember, that this is saying, when you say -3 comma 6 is on your line, you're saying when you plug in -3 for x, you should get out 6 for y. That's what we always do on our tables. So I'm going to substitute those values in. Just make sure to put the 6 in for the y. So in this equation, I'm going to replace y with 6 equals 2/3 of my x value plus b, and my x value is -3. So notice what I did. I plugged in 6 for y and -3 for x. And the 2/3 is there because that's the slope. And so now I'm just going to solve that. Solve it for b. b is the only variable. So I'm just going to simplify here. 6 equals 2/3 times -3. Again, you can do 2 times -3 and get -6. Divided by 3, which is -2, or you could do divided by 3 first. 3 goes into -3, -1, and you're left with 2 times -1, -2. However you like to get there, but 2/3 of -3 is -2. And now you have 6 equals negative 2 plus b. This is an easy move here to solve for b. We add 2 to both sides, canceling that, and we are left with b is equal to 8. And now that you know b is equal to 8, now I know both things I needed. And like I said, now you're not done, but you're 10 seconds away from being done. If you know the slope and you know the y-intercept, then your final answer is going to be y equals the slope 2/3 x plus the b of 8. So y equals 2/3 x plus 8. That is your final answer. And hopefully this cleared any confusion up for you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out as always and ask for help. But good luck, kids, and keep working hard.